Hey, what's up guys, this is Oakley, and it's going to be another 1v1 battle taking place in the desert this time, and you can see it's not quite going to be very much teamsmanship, at least, wrong button. From our enemy's perspective, I'm going to be spawning actually as the Masagatai, and you can see my build here. Yeah, I just decided to try them online, and they're going to be very good for picking apart opponents, especially ones like this, who are not really going to be functioning very cohesively together. So for instance, this army here has a lot of these Persian hoplites, a huge number of them, and those are pretty cheap fodder units, and they're going to be guarding Syrian heavy archers, so pretty formidable from the front, plus chariots. So this guy is kind of planning on going solo, and they've left a huge gap between both of them. The other force here is going to be the Iceni, and they're going to be pretty easy to take apart, especially now that you can see all of my forces swarming over to the right side to help out my allies. So I will say that this battle, just from the get-go, is not going to be the most competitive battles, but hopefully we'll be able to get you guys a little bit more of the cinematics this time around. So I'm going to be shifting around a lot more of my forces. Two of my horse archers, actually, we can go ahead and follow the Scythian horsewomen, I believe, yep, deployed over on this side. And they're going to be drawing the chariots away from the fight. The main battle is going to take place over that hill. And so now we're just going to start to engage his chariots and get a couple of Parthian shots back at those guys and start harassing them, see if we can pick any of them off. You can see the shots start to land over there, but chariots are not super susceptible to archer fire. Over here is going to be more so where the battle is going to start taking place. My ally is going to be forming up. I have a couple cavalry over on the left just to catch the other player's attention, and then here is where we're going to start deploying. So my opponent, we've been working together pretty well. He's going to go ahead and put some of his guys here, and he's going to start drawing off the enemy cavalry into this engagement. You can see them peeling off in large columns. Some of the skirmisher cav already starting to pick off some of these Iceni warriors. And look at where they're going to be pulled into. All of my guys have now waited on the other side of this hill. I have a couple archers and 3 skirmishers, so they're going to start picking apart these forces. And as they move forward, we're just going to melt away into the desert and continue to get some shots on. So this is not the place to be for a barbarian force like this. Not only are they outside of the weather, but they're outside of their, skill zone. Look at all this. The horse is just being pelted, and all I have to do is fall back over that hill and then prep for a massive counterattack from the side with a lot of my stepped armored lancers and even some of these cataphract units. Come right into the side, pin these guys up, and then what we're going to do is you can see the javelin men up on the top have a perfect angle to get down on these Iceni horsemen, and there is no support incoming. A couple of them are looking over, but they're tied down by some of our own cavalry. So we are now going to be circling on this isolated band of units. I'll go ahead and put this on pause just so you can see that you're not missing anything out. Basically, the chariots have been swarmed over here. They gave up on my own archer cavalry, and they're going to be pulling over through this army, so a pretty dangerous move. Meanwhile, we're tying up this front with some of our cavalry, so we'll go ahead and make sure we cover both of those and play. So here comes all of my skirmishers. They're going to be positioning themselves just to go ahead and get some nice volleys, and this is just going to be melting away these cavalrymen right here. So I'm fixing them from the back, and then over here they're just being picked off rank by rank. Let's go ahead and watch the chariot charge, at least as it comes through here. And so our opponents are going to wreak a lot of havoc. You can see some of the slingers already starting to retreat. He's going to do an about face and now start tearing straight into the army. So my ally is going to try and deploy against this, but he's not quite braced in time. And when you have 2 of these Scythian chariots, scythe chariots, yeah, I don't think many of these men are going to be getting back up, especially when the second one comes through and just chops them up again. So you can see how many of those guys were actually taking out the light troops, even with these spearmen coming into the fight. He's going to keep pulling through his cavalry, or his chariots, so let's just look at, pop this up, see how many kills they've gotten already. So 53 and 85, that's going to start going up to 100. He's just carving huge swaths through this line, and he's opening up for an attack from this entire front as it pushes forward. Although some of my own archers have been starting to pick off some of the rearguard Syrian heavy archers, so I'm just waiting, biding my time. This whole force here is stationed too far in the back. Meanwhile, we've finally been able to clean up most of these Iceni forces. I've left some of my skirmishers to deal with the remainder 4 units. The rest of them are going to be cresting this hill, and this is going to be a very foreboding threat. Look at this. We're going to watch this line that thinks it's securely deployed. However, its flanks are going to be at the mercy of my forces, who are now going to be rounding the crest of the hill. Javelin men, all sorts of cavalry looking down at this. Let's watch this from the entire line. And they're going to charge to engage in this fight, but they're doing so with all of my cavalry at the brink of this. Look at the cataphracts As I said, this makes for a very cinematic battle. Just gonna bowl over these infantry and then just pour the pressure on with all of my units. A couple more archers in the distance, or Jav Cav in the distance, getting some more shots on, and a lot of our forces are gonna be pouring over this hill. Some more reserves. Put this on pause. Just take a look at a couple more of the stats. So the chariots are actually 193 kills, and it's the same chariot unit. So it seems like one of them may have gone down, but he's definitely getting a lot of kills, and he's just churning up this entire force. That's probably why he has such a weird build. He's just in this for the chariot kills and the chariot fun. So doing a good job, but he's kind of abandoned his ally in the process. And I'm going to be over here picking off some more of these forces. So again, we're just here for the cinematics, so let's go ahead and enjoy some of those. These guys having one of the best viewpoints. I'm going to pull back, try and get his infantry tired, pull them up the hill, and then we can go ahead and launch an assault. Some of my steppe cataphracts are getting over here, ready for this engagement. Let's watch this assault. So they're going to get straight up smushed through there. Another couple, all of these skirmishers who are out of ammo are now going to be charging into the rear of this line, causing havoc with these light infantry who are pinned up against my allies' units. More of my guys like a wave coming on down this hill. Up then to clean up the Iceni. Picking Iceni is obviously not a very good choice against the units like Masagatai, who have very heavy cavalry and who can skirmish you all day long. The Iceni basically do not have the best skirmishing capabilities, so this battle is mostly just for fun. Actually, let's go ahead and watch the rest of my forces who have pulled again through this hill and have now been chasing away the Syrians, just trying to catch up to them. The opponent does have his own Persian light units coming in from the back, so I have to remain wary of that. His archers are going to start to turn around and fire straight into me, so I'm going to have to pull out of this fight. I just wanted to engage on enough of these guys before reinforcement hoplites got into the fight. So now we're going to be pulling out and rejoining the main battle. That's fine. All of my guys are going to be coming through here, and the chariots have finally broken, so that's going to be it for this army. The Iceni are basically done for, just a couple of them standing here or there. And it's going to be hammer and anvils all up the line. And there is a pretty significant portion of units in the back, however. Those are pretty cheap light forces. The Syrian heavy archers that they're supposed to defend have not been defended, and so now here comes all of my cavalry. Again, we're going to use the crest of these dunes to push up and over, and then we would have come and smashed into these forces. At this point, they kind of admitted defeat. It was pretty much game over. These guys would have been routed by the flight of arrows coming in through here, and then the heavy cavalry charge from the back. So definitely a fun battle, definitely not the most competitive, but we're not always here to just try and focus up and do competitive stuff. It's at the end of the day a game, and I hope you guys did enjoy this battle. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats. Yeah, I see him actually getting a decent number of kills. I mean, he looks like he just maxed out on these druidic nobles. Probably not the best move. Cavalry getting thrashed as well, so perhaps not the best players. Oh, actually, he had 3 side chariots, so that's where he got most of his kills. I think this build could have worked had he used this army in conjunction to guard the Iceni a little bit better. Yeah, we were just able to pick them apart and thrash them. A lot of kills from my guys. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. See you all next time.